Hey guys, Jay here and welcome back to the channel. So we've got a pretty major piece of news coming out of Russia, and this is all based primarily around a bill that has just passed, which is going to be allowing companies to use cryptocurrencies for payments on international trade. So let me break this down. The bill being referred to is likely the legislation that was passed by the Russian State Duma that will allow the use of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies for international trade transactions. The legislation marks a significant shift in Russia's stance towards cryptocurrencies, enabling companies to utilize digital currencies for cross-border payments amidst the international sanctions and financial restrictions the country is facing. So previously, Russia had a more restrictive approach to cryptocurrency. The geopolitical and economic pressures that have led to this legislative change are pretty substantial, and I think everybody understands exactly why they've been pushed into this corner. So the bill itself is part of a broader effort to bypass the Western financial sanctions and facilitate international trade through alternative payment methods. So this move is probably going to send us up higher, and I definitely think it's something that's going to help push the market along this week. It's something that has just popped up out of the blue. So this is definitely a good article. There's not much here to go off of. I had to go to a few different places to more or less dig in and find out exactly what that bill itself is going to do. So let's move over to this next article. And this article was posted back in 2022, and it's from the University Consortium. And it's speaking about a Russian crypto winter and why banning crypto would be terrible news for Russia. Now, when it comes down to the whole situation that currently surrounds the petrodollar, the Western Alliance, and BRICS itself, it's a very geopolitical situation which more or less affects everybody across board. So I don't think at this point we're going to be seeing any more countries banning crypto. In fact, what I think we're going to begin to see is a huge shift in the narrative, the way that crypto itself is used and utilized, because Russia themselves not too long ago also wanted to criminalize Bitcoin and only have it as a money substitute. So the fact that they're beginning to roll out these laws, these bills, all of these different amendments to help crypto adoption is pretty major for the crypto industry, because in itself, and I've explained this a few times, Bitcoin cannot be swayed. It doesn't follow a religion. It can't be bribed. It can be used and utilized as long as you've got an internet connection. That is the entry bar for using Bitcoin, and the majority of crypto is that you simply need an internet connection. And when the masses start to glue themselves to something like cryptocurrency, we're then going to start to see the shift of commercial, financial, the banking sector, the gaming sector. We just did a video on Sony purchasing a crypto exchange. So we know the shift in the crypto narrative is going to where we want it to go to. So seeing Russia bringing out news like this is really, really good. Now, what I want to do is focus on this article, and this is what I'm talking about, is this shift. And this is coming from Forbes magazine, and it's Bitcoin transforms from fringe asset to presidential talking point. I think this is something that's hugely undervalued at the moment, because 2, 3, 4 years ago, you would never have expected that presidents would be using Bitcoin as a strong talking point to get people to vote for them as the next president. And the fact that Donald Trump himself is going to be speaking at BTC Nashville, we're living in a different time, where instead of us having to go out and shill and explain this stuff to people who are probably not going to understand it anyway, no matter how much you simplify it, you still get that very confused look from people in your day-to-day life when it comes down to crypto. This is going to push it into a sector which people can find a relatable route of getting involved with it. They can deem to themselves, well, Donald Trump's talking about it. These presidents are talking about it. They're talking about it. I think I'll get some of this cryptocurrency. I think I'll get some of this Bitcoin. And this in itself will begin the global adoption transformation, which will begin to bring in the other 99% of people that are not involved in crypto. So when it comes down to Bitcoin and crypto being used as a political weapon on a global stage, I would definitely start to look at something like BRICS and how BRICS in itself is probably going to start to use and utilize BTC moving forward. As we've just spoken about at the beginning of the video, this starts to play into that narrative. So the BRICS nations are originally composed of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, and are looking to establish a new reserve currency backed by a basket of their respective currencies. So the potential BRICS currency would allow these nations to assert their economic independence while competing with the existing international financial system. The currency system is dominated by the US dollar, which accounts for 90% of all currency trading. Until recently, nearly 100% of oil trading was conducted in US dollars. However, in 2023, 1/5 of oil trades were reportedly made using non-US dollar currencies. Central to this ongoing situation is the US trade war with China, as well as the US sanctions on China and Russia. So as we can gauge from this article, there is a lot of ups and downs when it comes to the global stage and how BTC can be adopted to not only become a substitute for all of the BS, but it can also become a tool harnessed to improve the peace factor on a global scale. And the reason why I say this is because of the same reason that I said BTC cannot be swayed. It cannot be bribed. It cannot be controlled. It is far too decentralized for that. And just like many times over, different things have been created in order to sustain peace. Whether it was the League of Nations and then the United Nations. It could be that in the future, BTC is harnessed to bring peace on a global scale to a rotting financial system, which inevitably leads to wars on global scales each and every time over basic assertion of global financial dominance. So I think this is really good that we're starting to see more countries shift towards BTC, that we're starting to see more nations use BTC as a political tool, and to see Russia making such a huge reversal on their flip-flopping is even better during a time like this. So hopefully we're going to begin to see prices move up. We're going to see more presidential talk around crypto and Bitcoin in general. So if you like the content here, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, hit notifications bell to stay informed. And aside that, stay safe, stay humble, stay aware. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one.